Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video today. This is going to be the last part of the Futchamps games that we did end up playing. As you guys know, we split it into two different segments because it was like 40-something minutes long, so I had to split it into a third part. But I hope you guys have been enjoying these videos. If you guys want to see more Futchamps gameplay in the future and the highlights and stuff and the discussions that I have, be sure to let me know what you guys would like me to talk about and all that fun stuff. But we are going to be continuing with the forum discussions that people have been mentioning because the questions that they usually ask is like the questions that Twitch chat will ask as well. So we'll be continuing from there. Thank you guys so much for the support that you guys have been showing on the streams and the YouTube videos so far. This year has been incredibly strong so far for myself, and you guys have been definitely showing a lot of support, and I really do appreciate that, considering how toxic I can be towards this game, right? So that's why I try to be better for myself and for you guys, so that you guys can enjoy the content, because you guys already know how I feel about the game, right? So there's no point in like always getting into it, right? But for the FIFA forum discussions, we have different questions to ask again. So the first one that we have here is Gabriel Jesus or Lacazette. Here's my problem with using Gabriel Jesus, right? So I'm gonna look up his card right now on Futbin. I'm gonna look this up. So with Gabriel Jesus' card, first of all, right off the bat, as a striker, if he's playing as a lone striker, right, he's not capable enough of playing that lone striker role. But this card is going to move like a monster around the pitch. So if you're going to be using him as like a 4-1-2-2 striker, then yeah, this card would probably be worth it, because he has 92 agility, 91 balance with good dribbling stats in general, 87 acceleration with 85 sprint speed, and then if you give him a sniper card, even better. You know what? It's funny because I think even though the Hunter may not be like a huge difference, I'd probably slap a Hunter on him for this one, because 92 agility, 91 balance, he can't really go higher than that, especially since his center of gravity is like low, because he is 5'9", right? Right-footed. The thing that really sucks, that I really despise that EA do, is when a player has a good weak foot and then they take that weak foot out. That's like a beneficial thing to the player to have the weak foot. So taking it out is like, you shouldn't even do it, because if he had 4-star, literally nobody would complain, and people do complain when you take out the weak foot, you know what I'm saying? So I think that they should have kept the 4-star weak foot. Same thing with like Zlatan Ibrahimovic, like when they took out 5-star skills from like one of the most skillful players, right? And then they brought it back recently. They should have just kept it, right? Like if it's already in the game and it's a good thing to have in the game, like a 4-star weak foot, then just keep it. It doesn't matter to take it out, right? But Gabriel Jesus looks like a nice card, but again, doesn't necessarily have the weak foot or the physical capability. So you can't really use him as a lone striker. You definitely got to use him with somebody else. Same thing can go for Lacazette. Trust me, guys, I've tried Lacazette as a lone striker. It doesn't work because he's not tall enough. He doesn't have the physical presence enough to be able to be a lone striker, whereas Roberto Firmino just bullies people, right? Like center backs, it's hard to get past a person that's like, Firmino's like 5'11" or 5'10" or something. Physical presence, good weak foot, composure, so he's going to be awesome, right? Lacazette, I actually tried, again, like I said, in a 4-2-3-1, and I like Lacazette. I think Lacazette's a good player, but again, Lacazette's a type of player you need to use with a secondary striker right next to him, because I feel like if he's playing alone in the lone striker position, it just doesn't work. So if I were to choose between the two, I would probably go with Lacazette because of the weak foot. Yeah, probably Lacazette, because Lacazette has a decent card this year, to be fair. Like I'm not gonna say he's not good. Is Fabinho worth the 90k? Okay, so this is for the midfielder video for the Premier League. I didn't like mention Fabinho because I don't know why I didn't get him. He's like an 85 rated card at center mid. I don't know how I didn't see him, right? But in the comments I did end up saying what I thought about Fabinho. So this is Fabinho's card, right? His work rates are terrible for CDM because I really heavily believe it needs to be high or medium high work rates, right? Medium is just a weird work rate to have there, because I think the spacing between him and the back four is just off, right? So I think with Fabinho, the work rates suck. I think that his balance, agility, acceleration, sprint speed isn't really that good, all compared to each other, even if you give him an anchor card, which is probably the most preferable thing to give him because you want him to be a good defensive player, right? But other than that, honestly, man, he's still better than Idrissa Gueye or Ndidi. So is he worth 90k? Probably not, but there's no other Premier League players you can get that is a defensive player like Fabinho for that CDM role, unless you go ahead and spend more money and buy like the Contes and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's what I would say, man. I think Fabinho, is he worth 90K? Probably not. Is he a good player to use in the Premier League as a CDM? Absolutely. Believe it or not, guys, my favorite CDM so far to use in FIFA has been Alon, man. I think Alon from Serie A, Napoli. I liked him a lot, man. I thought his general movement, like he's basically Conte 2.0. Like not as good as Conte, absolutely not, but he's a phenomenal card to use. He plays really well for me. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, Scream promo. I forgot that the Scream promo is gonna come out because it's Halloween. I almost forgot about that. Best icon center back. Best icon center back. Middle Maldini. So I don't know what they call the middle Maldini. So there's Baby, like, well, we call Baby, and then we call Prime. I don't know what the middle one is called. Modern, or I have no idea. Prime Rio, Prime Blanc, or Prime Desai. Okay, so this is a situation because if we go to Prime Blanc's card, right? I think Prime Blanc would be medium high. He just looks like that type of dude, especially since his cam card is a medium high, right? Okay, so Laurent Blanc is a medium high. Medium high is beautiful in this year's game. Okay, so Laurent Blanc Prime, big deal. 953K worth, man. That card is disgusting. Dude, Laurent Blanc has 79, like, dude, listen to this, okay? Because listen to his cam card already. His cam card already has, yeah? It has 85 acceleration, 82 sprint speed, 80 agility, and 76 balance. Now, for a center back in Prime Laurent Blanc's card, he has 77 acceleration with 80 sprint speed with 70 agility and 70 balance. That's brilliant for a center back, yeah? And then defensive stats are god tier. His physical stats are god tier. He's 6'4", so 77 jumping. Like, he's still gonna be able to jump people for sure. Especially since you're gonna probably be slapping an anchor card on him because you want him to be as good defensively as possible. Anchor, I'm trying to find Anchor right now because Anchor would increase his jumping by 10, or it would increase the jumping by 10, right? And then the pace being increased, the defending being increased, the physical being increased. Laurent Blanc looks like a phenomenal card. Next card you have here is Prime Rio Ferdinand. So Prime Rio Ferdinand, I think, would be really good as well. But it's different with his card because he has medium work rates instead of medium high work rates. So that's a difference in terms of what type of gameplay you play, right? If you want to have a medium with a medium high, really depends on you, right? But with Rio Ferdinand's card, he has 60 agility and 57 balance, so not great dribbling, right? So the dribbling is not necessarily it's the agility and balance is not necessarily only for the dribbling, it's for defending, turning left and right. But the thing about Rio Ferdinand's card is that his agility and balance may be low, but he makes up for it in the acceleration and sprint speed as well as the aggression. So he has 84 acceleration with 82 sprint speed, 86 aggression, and he's medium work rates while being 6'2" with 82 jumping. So with this card, again, probably slap an anchor on him. I don't even think it makes that much sense. No, yeah, anchor, because you want them to be defensive gods, right? So I'd probably give him an anchor. Or if you like his pace already, there's actually a card that gives him passing, defense, and physical. If you want to give him the extra passing stats, right, you could do that too, so that his passing isn't that bad. Because center back passing is still pretty important too in certain situations. But yeah, he also looks like a phenomenal card. But I'm looking at Laurent Blanc so far. And then you talked about the Maldini in the middle. So Maldini in the middle. Ooh, that card looks nice too, man. Also medium high work rates. 61 agility with 64 balance, but has 82 acceleration with 82 sprint speed, while also having 79 aggression. 79 aggression is it's hard to say for the Legends, right? Because he's 6'1", and Legends just play better in FIFA anyways, right? So jumping being 82 is good while being 6'1". His heading accuracy is good. His defensive stats in general are fantastic. Still leaning towards Laurent Blanc in that regard. And then there's Prime Desai. I think Laurent Blanc is probably going to win. In terms of my playstyle, like Rio Ferdinand and Laurent Blanc are pretty close to each other. So you said Prime Desai. So Prime Desai has bad agility and balance, but makes up for the acceleration and sprint speed. He is 6'1" with 84 jumping, great physical and defensive stat. Oh, Desai actually has the strength and aggression. Aggression's nice, man, because when someone gets past you, if your player has aggression, he will really push for that ball, right? So Desai looks like a fantastic card too, man. It's whatever you think works best for you. But from those 4 options, I think that Laurent Blanc would be better. And it's actually funny because I just saw the comment that the guy said under it, and he said already used Blanc in Rio. Felt Blanc was slightly better due to his work rates, but what are your thoughts, right? So work rates are a big deal, man. Medium high in this game is really nice to have. Medium, just their positioning is going to be really weird, right? Because they're not as aggressive to push back in defense, right? So that's just kind of like what it feels like, right? One player that you've used that's worth the coins. One player that I've used that's worth the coins. So far for a Premier League striker, Roberto Firmino. I don't even think, like, I would try Aubameyang over Roberto Firmino for sure. But I just don't think, I think the clunkiness of Aubameyang would be too annoying for me, you know? Especially since Aubameyang doesn't have, like, the passing stats or anything like that. Because my playstyle requires me to pass it off to the sides and then be able to, like, finesse shot it afterwards, like right now because of the meta, right? So I think preferably, Firmino, Alisson, get a better goalkeeper, man. Because I played this one guy that had Courtois in my last game that you guys are gonna see in this video, and I'm not gonna show the highlights. Well, I think I do actually show the highlights in the end. His Courtois, the reaction saves of the goalies fake in this game, man, they're insane. Courtois just poops all over you, man. He poops all over your hopes and dreams, man. He's a fantastic card. Let's see what else we got here. So, do I sell Informa Hulk and stuff? I don't know about that. Best lone striker for the EPL. Best icon center back. Our basic goalkeeper is the best types. So we go to the next page here. Scream promo. Let's see here. Let's see. Anyone with Serie A teams, what are the best strikers to use in the Serie A? Best strikers to use in the Serie A. Can I be honest with you guys, man? I didn't like anybody that's a Serie A striker. Like, they have this thing. This is the thing, right? They have the Icardis. They have the Higuains. They have, like, the Immobiles. But those aren't my type of cards that I like to use, right? So maybe Icardi would be really good because I think he has the 4-star weak foot too. I could be wrong in saying this, but I think Icardi would be good because his general finishing would just be fantastic, obviously. But Serie A, man, I don't know. I tried to use Lautaro Martinez. Absolutely hated that card. Like, he did absolutely nothing for me in the game. It's as if he wasn't even there. And, like, Roberto Firmino is, like, always in position to do stuff, right? There's Roberto Firmino. Well, not Roberto Firmino. Lautaro Martinez I didn't like. I was using Bellotti. Bellotti is okay. But it's because of the finesse outside the box. Like, his finishing is pretty good in that regard. He has a 5-star weak foot, I think, too, which kind of makes a nice difference. The 5-star weak foot was the thing with Bellotti is I actually think Bellotti would be significantly better if I were to put a sniper chemistry style on him, because when I played with him at the time, I didn't give him a sniper chemistry style. I gave him a hunter chemistry style because he was slow. But again, like I said this year, guys, like, the dribbling is more important than the pace for your attackers. The pace is more relevant. The pace is more relevant for your defensive players first. So for your CDMs, center backs, right backs, left backs, like, I think it's more relevant in those positions personally. Let's see what else we got here. It's a lot of people, like, complaining about the gameplay mechanics, so I'm trying to avoid those ones right now. Any reviews on Baby Makalele? Dude, if you guys don't know, right, Makalele is one of my favorite players of all time. So my top 3 favorite players of all time, obviously first is Quaresma, second is Ronaldinho, and then third is Makalele. I know that Makalele is a weird player for people to say, like, oh, why do you like him so much? I really, back in the day when I was younger, I used to love watching Chelsea play. I like Premier League football in general. Like, Liverpool is the team I like the most, but I like Premier League football in general. Like, I don't have a hatred towards, like, Manchester United or Chelsea or anything like that. Like, I just like the Premier League, but Liverpool is just that team that I grew up liking, right? Big reason for me liking Liverpool is because of Fernando Torres. I was a huge admirer of Fernando Torres. And because I liked Fernando Torres, it kind of made me like Liverpool more. And then that's kind of what happened. If it wasn't for Torres, I think my favorite Premier League team would probably be like Chelsea or something too, right? So Claude Makalele, there's other reasons too, but that's like the main ones, right? Cloud Makalele, you're asking for the baby version of his card. So the baby version of his card, no, I don't even think the baby version of his card is worth even looking at, because I think that's the left mid or right mid one. Yeah, that's the right mid one, dude. If you use the right mid one as a center mid on 7 chemistry, it still wouldn't even be that great because his defensive stats are still far too low. So I wouldn't even recommend that. I think he has like low high, medium work rates as a right. I don't, that's such a weird card. That's a weird card because his finishing sucks on that card for a midfielder. So it's not even worth using. But to look at the other cards, like I'll look at his middle one, right? He has a very good card stats. He's low high in work rates. Low high is a very, like, he doesn't have the shooting stats. Don't get me wrong. He has 47 shooting. His shooting is absolutely awful. And there are going to be times we're going to get into a position where you're going to want to shoot with him and he's not going to be very good at it. But this guy defensively is a monster. Makalele is basically Conte, essentially, right? But he's just an icon that you can be using in the teams, right? So he's basically Conte in the team because he is 5'9". Conte is like 5'6", right? So 3 inches off, right? But Makalele 3 inches taller and just has like the same general stats that Conte does. And Makalele actually has 79 jumping. So 5'9", 79 jumping. He might win the ball a few times in the air, right? Like he'll have his time of winning the ball in the air. But I think Makalele would be an absolute treat. Mendy versus Robertson. I hated Mendy because his agility and balance is like in the 60s, so moving with him is awful, but I loved him to defend crosses and corners, man. Like I miss him for that, but it wasn't worth the general dribbling on the ball because he took way too long. The reason why I don't like dribbling on players being bad, especially for the fullbacks, like he has 68 agility with 70 balance, right? So the reason why I don't like his dribbling being that poor is because constant pressuring is very effective in this game. Where it basically covers every single player on the pitch, which is just not realistic. I've never seen a team do that in my life. The coaches would praise their players if they were marking people when they were nowhere near the actual play, right? But with Mendy's cards, because it takes too long to dribble, it's so much easier for people to grab the ball off of him because of how poor his dribbling is. So that's what I noticed with his card when I was using him, and I sold him after like 2 games. But not 2 games. I played 4 games or so with him, and I just love that he defended the crosses because he is 6'1", right? And it definitely helped, but it just wasn't worth having the card. Robertson I didn't like either because I think his dribbling sucks too, and that's crazy because when I look at Robertson's card, I could be right in that. I'm not actually sure. 78 agility, 74 balance. So I don't know, man. He didn't feel good on the ball. I didn't like it. Van Aanholt, however, does feel good on the ball, but Van Aanholt is a pretty bad left back. Like I need to get like Alexandro or something, or Alex Telge. I need to try to find a way where I can put a Brazilian center back, move Fabinho to the center mid area. As long as I get a good center back from Brazil that gives me good chemistry, I could put the left back being Alex Telge, and it would work. Or I can get like Miranda and try to get like Alexandro in the future or something, right? I'm not sure how good Miranda is. Never really tried him out or looked at his card stats. So I have no idea in that regard. But for me, dude, my player was definitely Van Aanholt. I loved using him. I put an anchor on him as well. And he played really well for me because for some reason his dribbling was better. Maybe, and this is a big thing, right? Because Van Aanholt is 5'9", maybe that's why his dribbling was significantly better or just quicker on the ball because his center of gravity is lower. But it's weird though because Robertson's only 5'10". Maybe it's the pace and the acceleration and sprint speed that makes his dribbling better. That could be a big reason why too, right? But between the two of Mendy and Robertson, I'd probably go with... Oh, that's a tough one actually. Probably Roberts, Mendy with the crosses. Because Robertson only has like 59 jumping, so that's terrible for crosses, right? I'd probably go with Mendy. Between the two, I'd probably go with Mendy. Because Robertson I sold after 1 game. Like, I just didn't like him at all. Like, his general feel on the ball, his positioning on the pitch, I wasn't a huge fan of him at all. How good is Marega? Oh, from FC Porto? FC Porto Marega, he would be good because his physical is good. He doesn't necessarily have the weak foot. I'm sorry if you guys can hear the construction outside right now. I can't really do anything about that. 88 pace. Terrible dribbling, so don't even think about the dribbling with him. But pace with physical with him, good luck trying to get the ball off of him, right? 80 finishing with 71 composure. That's the type of players you use if you're just messing about, right? Like if you're just playing like single matches and stuff. But don't be caught using this card in the UCL or the They'll be caught using this card in the division rivals, man, because you're gonna get finessed really hard. But the card looks okay, right? Not necessarily too bad. Let's see what else we got here. A Varane and Manola squad with full chemistry. Best way to make a Varane and Manola squad with full chemistry is to put Varane and Fran, Marcelo and Modric probably, or Casemiro, because you might use Casemiro as a CDM. 4-3-2-1s is always the best to link two different center backs in a team, right? Because you can just get, like, for instance, Manolas don't get their goalkeeper, obviously, but with Varane, you can get like Courtois, and Courtois is amazing, right? So I'd probably get Courtois and then Marcelo as a left back, or Theo Hernandez. You can use Theo Hernandez right now too, and he's pretty good. I like using Theo Hernandez a lot. And then like a good centerman in like Casemiro or something. Like if you're switching to a 4-2-3-1, it would make sense to put Casemiro in that center mid spot because of the medium high work rates and just general good defensive stats. On the right side, you can use Florenzi. And the center mid, I don't know, because it used to be Nainggolan back in the day. That was the triple link before with Roma, but now they don't. Can't think of anybody else to put in that position. But Nainggolan would potentially work. No, he wouldn't, because then the link with the center back, he needs one more green link. If Roma has like a good center mid, probably put him in, but I don't think they do. I think Nainggolan was like the last hope because he's Belgian as well. And the center back in Manolas is Greek, so kind of a situation there. You need to get two links with Manola. I wouldn't even do that link up, to be honest. The Manola's situation is pretty bad, but Florenzi would be nice next to him. It's just that other center mid position that would be kind of like tough to get the chemistry together, right? How good is Varane in this game? Oh, Varane, dude, I don't even need to use Varane, and I know how stupid Varane is in this game. 100%, man. Varane has 83 acceleration with 85 sprint speed, right? With 63 agility and 40 balance. Now, his balance really sucks, and you notice it, man. I tried him one time. You definitely notice the balance, always. These types of stats you'll notice always. But his aggressiveness towards getting the ball back, right? Because he's 6'3" and with 77 aggression, like if you give him an anchor card, the guy will be fine because he's got the pace is very noticeable on his card. Like it kind of matches his characteristic in real life in a way because Varane is a fast player in real life. Like Varane is actually faster than most attackers in real life. Like he can really chase down after a ball. So yeah, Varane would definitely be a beast. I think Sergio Ramos is still probably one of the better center backs in the game with really terrible work rates. In all fairness, he has a high medium work rate, so high attacking, medium defensive. But you can make that work, right? Like it depends on your playstyle. Like there's people that use Sergio Ramos and do work with him because it just works for their playstyle. Sergio Ramos, 77 acceleration with 76 sprint speed, 79 agility, good defensive and physical capabilities, good dribbling as well, actually. He has ball control of like 85, 86 reactions. Reactions being 86 is what makes these defensive AIs like, or defensive blocks like crazy. Like boom, like just blocks it right away, right? So yeah, Sergio Ramos is probably like one of the more ideal center backs to use in the game as well. And then we have, last but not least, as a topic of discussion, overhead kicks needs patch. And yes, this is something I mentioned in the last Futchamps video that we did, that they definitely need a patch for the overhead kicks because they're definitely overpowered. Because you don't actually have to hold L trigger to do the bicycle kick. You just hold B and the player does it himself. So it's really messed up. But that is going to conclude the video for today, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy it. We did end up getting gold 1 for this Futchamp, so 22-8. Pretty happy with that result, because all things considered with this game, how as it currently stands, and the team that I have and everything, right? Because you know these meta teams that you come up against, not come up against in Futchamps, but meta teams makes a huge difference. Like I was looking at the top 100 people, and I was like looking with my stream the other day to see if I could find anyone that didn't have Neymar, Bale, Conte, Pogba, Vieira, Hole, Ronaldo. I was trying to find one person, I just couldn't do it. But anybody that can do a top 100 with a freaking rare gold team, full props to them. They deserve every props like imaginable because the RNG in this game is insane. But that is going to conclude the video for today, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you guys enjoyed it, please drop a thumbs up on it. Definitely helps out the channel a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Let me know what you guys would like to see for the next video, all right? See you guys later.